Wow, that's quite a thing.
All right, I believe we are live.
Are we live?
Absolutely.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. Hey, it felt like a Wednesday.
Taco Tuesday.
But hey, tonight we are going to talk about what?
We're going to do equipment tonight. We've got some things laid out.
Mm-hmm.
Tools of the trade, you could say. This isn't all of the things that we have, but...
Yeah, this is, I've kind of got stuff. This isn't that big of an office. So I have got stuff kind of laid out. Hello, Stephanie. I've got stuff laid all over. And we got a couple cameras up. We got a couple ambulances driving by. Things are crazy.
Not coming here, though.
Not coming here, though. I mean, I hope they're not coming here.
Now, yeah.
So we're busy tonight. We were sitting here talking about some client cases. Hello, Rita.
Hey, Rita.
We got some tough cases out in front of us. We're trying to discuss and beat down some ideas on. But you know what? It's time to talk equipment. We got a couple people on already. 4 people, as a matter of fact. Thank you very much for coming tonight. And absolutely love doing this. Yeah, maybe we should turn some on, right?
Yeah, let's do it. But where is the Mel Meters and the K2?
Boop, 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 boop. They're in my jacket.
All right, let's bring those guys out, too.
Yes.
Because I
thought I had all this out.
I thought we could start with the EMF.
Oh, that's awesome.
Reader.
We can give some examples of how that works. I was going to bring in... Hello, Jackie. I was going to bring in somebody to run my video for me.
But we'll have to just trade off.
Yeah, we'll have to trade off because I completely forgot about it. I'm bummed.
So maybe let's just start with these EMF type
Right.
guys. So I'll start out and then Russ can take the next group of stuff.
Oh, that was the battery.
Oh, that was the battery.
It was.
Take that
Here. I'm going to switch off.
Okay.
The battery just fell.
So while Russ is doing that, I'm gonna talk about this little guy right here. This is a Mel meter, and what it does is it measures. You see the 0.1? That measures EMF, so electromagnetic frequencies, and I drifted out of the way. And then the bottom number is the temperature. So currently in the office here, it is 77.1 degrees. So both of these measurements we'll use on investigation. The temperature is significant for the fact that we may have temperature fluctuations that indicate a spirit might be there. And that could either go higher or lower. We had, in one place, we shut everything off in autumn, and we had a 10 degree rise. So that's a potential indicator. And then the top number then is, here, let's see if we can, here we go.
Here.
As an example.
Here we go.
Okay, so what Russ did was turn on it's called an EMF pump.
Yep.
And so that's putting out electromagnetic frequencies.
Hello, Paula.
And you can see.
Hello, John. Hello, Carrie.
So the theory behind all of this is that we basically walk around, get a baseline for everything, and typically when you see like that 1.1 and higher, you potentially could run into a spirit if you're in a spot without.
Yeah, we want to explain why that's there. Now, I'm running this little pump here, and we use this little contraption because it creates a energy source for potentially a soul to use. And so we don't use it a lot. I guess this one's called the ghost magnet, but it's a electrical energy that you saw read on our Mel meter.
Yeah, and we're far enough away. So another thing too is this allows us to see.
Hello, Lori. Hello, Kaylee. Hello, Linda.
Like
Hannah.
When you hold it up to a refrigerator or an outlet or
right,
you can see the energy coming off of that too. So that helps us isolate that off of alarm clocks.
Yeah, and it's similar to the K2, which Mark has in his hand.
That's this guy.
Yeah.
Did I turn it off?
Right. I might have had it on already.
So the lights will... It does the same thing basically. It's just a little simpler. Each light is kind of gives you a reading, like the 1.5, like you were seeing on the
Right.
one.
So the higher it goes,
the more energy is.
the more, the more residual from the electricity. And the key is that if we're in an area that there is no EMF and that meter goes off, and especially if it goes way up in there, I mean, we have to try to explain that.
Potentially have a spirit in. And some teams will actually use this to communicate.
Yep.
Like, they'll say, all right, hey, you know, they'll ask a yes or no question, you know, and then, are there 3 spirits here? And, you know, if it comes up, and they'll already preset a response.
Yeah, we had one of our investigators that was on our team
He did that a lot, yeah.
in the past. He used that as a tool a lot. Hello, Kirsten. So, yeah, definitely. We are measuring the electrical energy. Tell them about here. Let me tell them the story about the...
Oh, this little
hey, you know what? I can do this if I figure out how to turn this around. And that wasn't it.
Yeah,
how do I turn this around so I look at myself?
There should be a...
All right, maybe you just film it.
All right, we'll do that.
So, we had a case not that long ago. I would say maybe about 2 months ago. And it was up north, a ways. And along the wall of their room, we were measuring all kinds of energy with the meter. And I mean, it was 1.1, 0.2, 0.4. It was way up there. And we're like, boy, these people, they really got some bad electricity here or something, some bad wiring, because if you have, you know, any kind of a socket plug-in, we'll measure your plug-ins and your switches and stuff to make sure they're not too hot, so to speak, is what we call them. And if they are, we let the client know, well, you have a switch here or a plug-in that's very hot because the grounding is no good. And, you know, we try to debunk things. That's what we do. First and foremost, we want to identify, you know, potential emergencies, even for the family. Maybe they might have a fire if they don't fix something. But that massive amount of EMF that gets into a room causes you to think you're seeing things out of the side of your eye. Causes you to have sensations, headaches, and all kinds of symptoms that a spirit or a soul that has crossed over may also cause that same problem. So,
and it can cause sleep issues. There's a whole number of things.
Whole gamut of stuff.
Yep.
And the big thing is, if we can identify that at this location, there was a jump from the wall to the lady's chair of energy, and you could just measure it, jump right across. And that suddenly we realized that this energy, this electricity is not coming from that wall. There's something else going on here. And that night, after we cleansed the house, all that energy was gone. All the meters read 0. It was an amazing example of how you can measure. A lot of times we'll be walking along with the meters and we'll bump spirits that are in a building, and you'll measure it a second time, it's gone. Walk over here, oh, 1.1 over here, oh, it's gone. And you bump them, and that's a good way we realize that we actually are dealing with spirits. All right, Mark, trade off. We should have got a videographer.
We should have.
Hello, Tammy.
So there's one other. We do have one other one, a tri-field.
Yes, yes, and I got them up here.
Yeah, even more sensitive.
Here's trifold. Well, otherwise, you could come up here and show all the meters we have. Like I say, this is a small office, so bear with us.
It is. So this does show a little bit the radio frequency strength, the electronic field, or the electric field, magnetic fields.
Yep.
So it gives you a little bit more information yet.
And each of these is slightly sensitive in their own personal way. You know, so some are much more sensitive to the EMF, while others are not quite as much, but in varying degrees. And that's why we have different types of meters.
So yeah, we run. So this is another I don't really use this one.
Another style.
But,
yep.
Yep, an EMF tester. This was a MEL meter again, the same as we showed you earlier.
Yep. That is another.
It's another.
Yep, I have all
EMF
kinds
meter.
of little
Yep,
meters apparently.
Meters. Yep. Here's.
That one is different though.
Yep. So this one is. Oh no, this is carbon.
That's carbon monoxide. Yep, dioxide, monoxide.
Yep.
Because we also measure for that because carbon monoxide is essentially responsible for some of the same symptoms that EMF is.
Right, and that's interesting too. It's the same thing with mold.
Yep,
Like,
mold
if you
is,
have a mold
yeah.
issue, it can make you sick. So we go to places where people think they're getting sick because of the spirits.
Yeah.
And in reality, we find out maybe,
Carbon monoxide, mold in the
or
basement.
maybe it's a giant digital clock next to their head putting
Yeah.
off a ridiculous amount of energy.
Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of different things. We were at one case where standing water in the basement, mold, a lot of mold. And so then that moldy air was getting sucked up into the house and blown out, you know, via the furnace. And one of the ladies had these really big air purifiers around her bed, three of them. And that energy was coming out of the house. We can measure it in the yard next to the house and through the her sister's closet, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, like all of these different symptoms. So we try to get to the bottom of that, and we use some of these different tools to help us with that.
Right, right. Yeah, and we even have a Geiger counter for radiation. Is this one? I'm going to...
That's that tri-field meter.
Oh, okay.
Shut it off. Okay.
The batteries, we go through so many. A temperature reader for point and shoot temperature. How hot is Mark? 88 degrees.
That's pretty chill.
Now how hot is the floor over there? 70.8. Window 82.
How about the dead deer out in the yard?
No.
He wouldn't be anything. He's plastic.
So you can kind of see it's kind of neat, especially on investigation. And a lot of these tools are really cool if you're at a location where there's no power, because you can really get an idea what's on location if you're in a completely EMF free, supposedly EMF free. Those are far and few between, but we've had people shut their power down at their houses.
Well, and one of the spots, you know.
That's really acting up. Is it too much stuff running? Oh, maybe because the EMF.
Oh, there you go. I always look for the practical reason on everything.
Right.
But, what if the
Yikes.
batteries are...
Maybe that battery is
Well, anyway, so
nonsense.
these two guys are also pick up on EMF. And
Is that just temperature? Or is that...
I thought I turned the temp off, but here, let me just...
This little noisy thing is a REM pod. Example, when the battery is getting low, it's a noisy...
Oh, yeah. All right, let's change the battery on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, because the little red dot is temperature only, and this is REM pod only on that side.
So these pick up on EMF as well. They're just a little sensitive device that...
We can set them around.
Yep, on the stairs, on wherever you want them.
Is this being stubborn? Stubborn McGillicuddy. Okay, there. It's thinking a little bit. Or what's that?
Let's get active.
I think it's all right. That's better.
So then,
now we can show you an example how it's supposed to run.
So if the spirit comes near it, that's the premise. Or cat.
Or cats. We've had cats play with them before.
Yep. And then that alerts us to something being there.
Yeah. And
So-
the other one is movement.
Yep. And it also
Has
Throws off a bunch
decorative.
of little lights.
Yeah, for decoration to attract attractors.
But that's the same kind of concept where you get close. I have it off at the moment.
Oh, yeah, that one's a movement one. This one here.
It's acting up a little bit too much.
Okay.
And then that leads to, we have a couple of the motion detectors.
Yep, light detectors.
Light,
Actually, this is sound. And some more light ones here. Oh, these are sound too. And they're very noisy.
And we've had these little guys go off. We had one where you were actually laying on the floor, half in and half out of the, it was like a laundry room or whatever.
Yes.
And one was set up on, I suppose, the washer, pointing that way.
Right above my feet.
Yep, so Russ wasn't in, it had been quiet for like a good 15 minutes. And then that was going off. So they do, they pick up things occasionally.
Yeah. Yeah, it is really fun. Here, let's switch out for a minute.
Alrighty.
Okay. I got a few things.
What other fun things you got?
I have the Obelisk set up, and this actually, I think is probably one of Mark's favorite devices.
It's fun. I like it.
We hit the alphabet there, and it absorbs the. I think it's because you might have to go a little higher, maybe. It takes in the energy of the room, essentially like the EMF and other energy that might be in the room, and it creates words. Now, the first time we used the Obelisk, at first we didn't really get too much, and then Mark had it, and he went and set it on the counter in this abandoned location we were at, and the minute he set it down on the counter, it said, counter, and you can turn up the volume so it's louder.
Right.
And a lot of times we turn it down because we're running it at the same time we're using other equipment. But so far it says once, fight, and breaker. Now I don't know what that means. The key to this equipment, just like when we do audio sessions, the key to it is that we are looking at the words and seeing how they fit in with questions we ask and with the building we're at. It's got to make some sense. It's got to fit into the puzzle that we're putting together as part of the investigation.
So we had two separate ovuluses give a name at one investigation we were at.
Yeah.
The same name. And then that name was a name that had been something that we got off of EVPs too, right?
Right.
So it was like a triple confirmation on a name. So a lot of times it seems like it's gibberish, but other times it comes through.
So just like our audio sessions, we have to just kind of take the scene in as a whole. Not, I can't look at every word and be like, fight! Why is he so mad?
Yeah.
Oh, he's mad.
Yeah.
Well, only we're mad if we act like that.
Grace catch ones. Yeah. So,
we take the words and put them into the large perspective of the investigation as a whole. Because it is essentially our duty as investigators to try to identify what's on location in numerous types of evidence. Whether it be audio sessions, EVP sessions, using the Obelisk, video equipment. I have all kinds of lights here out, that we use.
Yeah, some infrared.
Yeah,
some
infrared lights, some UV, a UV light. We have a variety of lights, and a variety of cameras. We have the type that you just put outside on the tree, and this one I just got from a fellow investigator who asked me to try it out. The actual lights on this one have been disabled, and it's set for no light. So that's kind of different. Mainly probably a daylight tool. But sometimes, and I believe that as well, the light that is emitted, the infrared light that is emitted sometimes, it absolutely affects the souls and the different energies that are flowing around. Sometimes they avoid it. They're pretty good at that. SLS camera, missing the main device, the computer. We don't use this as often, but We do have certain investigators who really enjoy it.
You know, and once we get it going, we'll
You
give
know-
it the old try.
Right, because, I mean, it's just, like I say, we try to use as much as possible. Of course, the numerous varieties of different digital recorders. And this here is an amplifier that you put on the recorder to amplify the sound up. The S-Box, which is, all these radios are kind of set the same way. Whoops. Where do I don't even have them all out.
Oh, you've got, so you have
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
11, yep.
So all three of these are similar. They run through audio. Yeah, let's
Like radio stations, yeah. You probably heard
let's
these
turn it on. Reverse sweep. And it just runs, and again, what you're looking for is essentially intelligent responses.
Yep, so it could even be a yes or a no, or it could be a sentence. That's kind of the
Yeah.
big ticket items there, is when you get a whole sentence. Because that's sweeping through radio stations, and
this does the same thing. The neat thing about this, it's got dual channels, so you could run like an AM and an FM at the same time. That's kind of neat. This one I just saw on one of the primary TV shows.
really,
Like 3 days, last
Yeah.
weekend I was watching a show, and they used the S-Box in the Estes method.
oh, okay.
And had, some decent success. And that's on one of the most popular shows on TV. I'm not going to mention which one it is because I'm not here to advertise them.
Right, yeah, they should advertise us. That's how that should work.
So, yeah, Grace Catch Once. I don't know what that means. This here is a remote audio device that we can set up. We can use it, with headphones, or we can set it up in rooms at a potentially haunted location and put these out in the rooms and listen to it from a base station and see if we hear anything coming from those rooms.
They're pretty sensitive.
They are really sensitive. This is one of my favorites that I hardly ever get out, but it is a favorite of mine. Favorite.
We just have to plan to use it.
Yeah, let's switch it up. So you talk for a little bit.
All right.
Let's talk maybe.
We can catch these little cameras real quick.
Yeah.
We miss those. These are like just little comp cams.
Nice. Oh yeah, police cams.
You know,
Love
yeah,
those.
we call them pop and drops because you can wear them. You can
Yeah.
just put them on the corner or something and just film. It does.
Yeah.
It picks up voice. It has infrared, right?
Right. Yep.
So we got a couple of those guys we employ. We do have what we like to call the Ghost Pro, or everybody calls it Ghost Pro.
Yeah.
It's just like a little GoPro, but it does infrared as well. It does night vision. And this is just a little light that complements it.
Yep. Little infrared light, and that little bugger puts out some nice light. Oh, look at it. You can see it.
But that's fun.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll wear that on the chest, on our heads.
Yeah, we got all kinds of little mounts for it. I like the chest mount. I just have to be careful to keep my darn hands out of the way.
Right. So the other thing, camera-wise, is Russ has an example of that.
Yep. We got both of them sitting here.
So we call this our quad. It, we could actually run more if we wanted.
Yep.
But you can see this one's up in the attic.
Yeah. In my attic.
And we set them up in places where we think we might catch activity.
Yeah.
When we go through.
Look at.
Like there's activity.
Oh.
And
that's my wife going out to the garden.
So then the other thing we have is a little dual system that we carry along as well.
Yeah.
We just mount the cameras up. It's almost like a little.
Well, yeah. Well, the nice thing about the dually is that it's remote. So we don't have to run any wires, and it's very quick to set up.
Right, and it's just this little...
Yeah. Tiny little iPad-looking thing.
Works out pretty nice.
And so that's way different than the process it takes to set up. Like, look at the wires running. So wherever we have cameras on the quad, what we call it, essentially just a security system, we have to have those wires. But there are ones that are remote, and so we have them both because sometimes, we're at a smaller location or we just want to be quick and efficient.
Yeah, be light, yeah.
Because we go places where sometimes it's not so easy to get in the door.
No.
Maybe you have to walk a few block and a half. We did that one museum that time. We had to haul that stuff about a block and a half.
Yep.
It's crazy.
But so at one job we did, or at one investigation we did it with 2 other teams.
Yeah.
And we had 30 of these set up throughout the entire place.
Yeah, we had 30 screens up.
So we lit that place up like the 4th of July. It was crazy.
Yeah. And despite that, we still had a door slam in our face.
And right outside of camera range.
Right outside of camera. Very intelligent.
Very typical.
Very typical.
We occasionally get some things.
Yeah.
What other fun things do we have?
Well, why don't I talk maybe the spiritual side, the healing part of things. One thing that we generally do is if we go to a house, and Mark and I do a lot of house calls with our team. We got several members from around Minnesota who help us and are very good at what they do. But at the end of the night, in most cases, the family is very interested in having their house cleansed and the energy essentially moved on. And that is most of the time the case with the souls we run across. They either want to go or they're just confused at the fact of why they're still here. And we really want them to go find family and stuff, cross into the light and be on their way. And so that's a part of that process. And many of you know us. We are a Christian organization. This is our crucifix that we carry with us during the healing. The Bible. We use sage, holy water, anointing oils. We
got some salt in there and whatnot.
Some salts, and a mixture of other things in there. Candle. And it's a process to go out and do the healing. So we might spend 3 hours investigating, but we're going to spend an hour and a half potentially healing the household, removing residual energies out of the house, or maybe even intelligent souls that are there and just kind of stuck there. So
it's probably about 90% of what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Is go to houses and it can be anything. A business. It can be.
Yeah, we did a huge 3-4 story building here this spring.
Yep.
And that was part of it was an old funeral home, funeral parlor, and had a lot of spirit energy in there. And we cleansed that place, and I'll tell you what, the people that invite us there are very happy that they can work there at night and not have so many frightening and heart-pumping experiences. And so, yeah, that works out really good for them. I had something else sitting here that I was going to point at. Maybe I forgot what it was. Oh, well, the audio is a big part of what we do as well. We probably get the majority of our evidence through audio, and that requires a really good set of headphones, noise-reducing headphones. That's one item that you cannot spare a dime on. You really have to have a good pair of headphones. We take a computer wherever we go because the audio goes into a computer, into a certain software that we use to identify. And I know this is kind of equipment-ish, but that's kind of what we're doing tonight, I guess. We're just giving you an idea of the different things that we use for equipment. And this is, kind of most of it. There's a lot of duplicates of it. Like, we have all kinds of audio devices that are here that I'm not going to lay them all out, but we've got a variety of different audio devices. we didn't even begin to talk about the geoport.
Sorry. I saw somebody ask a question. I can't get to it.
Oh, okay. Well, we got the geoport. We also have
Yeah, it looks like an old-timey radio.
Yeah.
And then there is another old-timey radio.
Yep. And this one is similar maybe to this, but this one we have to turn manually. And this is one of the old transistor, not even transistors. The transistor radios are up over there that we sometimes use. And this is an old tube radio. And so we use transistors, we use tube radios, we use a variety of stuff to create that white noise that the spirits try to utilize to communicate with us.
And we have our go-tos that we will use often.
We do.
But sometimes we'll break these out.
All the go-tos are all in this vest right here.
Yeah, it's right in the vest.
So this is the vest that I wear, and usually I keep that by my desk, but I got my recorder on there. I've got my speaker. This will be stuck right there. It can actually be stuck right there. My phone, and
yeah, the Obelisk, a Mel meter,
the
K2
Obelisk
meter.
goes in this pocket. That really is an all-purpose vest for the investigator. Probably the best purchase I made. And like I say, usually some of this stuff gets shoved in these pockets, and we can roll into a place, and really a lot of times we could do a full investigation with just what's on that vest.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
And that's really the purpose of it. Is that in a situation where we really got to go in light, I can carry a full investigation worth of equipment on there, and maybe with that one other bag that we carry. And but usually we have like 3-4 bags.
We do, yeah. So so Jackie asked, and this probably rewinds back to when we're talking about the cleansing part. She says, does that have an effect on you physically and mentally?
The equipment or the investigations
I'm
overall?
assuming it's like, yeah, the investigation and then the cleansing part. So
it honestly, it does. There's a number of things that we talk about in the field. We do have physical symptoms.
Yep.
And emotional symptoms too. There's times when we get emotional. I've broke down during a healing and broke down, just started crying, It's rare, but it's happened. We've been in situations where a certain room causes us to be very angry. And we know each other enough to be like, Mark, let's get you out of this room.
Yep. We can watch each other, take care of each other.
We know that the souls, the spirits, they will use up not only battery energy, but body energy too.
Yep.
So sometimes we get
just wiped out. Yeah.
Wiped out. And we try to avoid a total, complete fallout of our bodies by ensuring we drink a lot of water, and we have what we call the midnight snack, where we always try to take in some protein. My favorite is meat sticks and cheese. But we need to refill if we're expected to go through till 2-3 o'clock in the morning. We need extra refill.
So Rochelle is asking, you kind of answered it a little bit, but she says, okay, I lost it.
Oh.
Do your batteries run out often?
Yes.
And about recharging.
Right, that is very common. We just were on investigation, and I'll show you for my 2 little cams. This is how many batteries I bring along. I don't know, there's probably a dozen there at least.
Yeah, there's just, yep.
And that's
Ghost Pro.
That's for 2 Ghost Pros.
And then if you look too on the back of the shelf, there's a big old outlet station. And
huge.
Everything gets charged on that. So we just were at one recently that we had things draining instantly.
The switch.
Some other team members, or somebody from another team also, like, I think that's a common thing we hear.
Right.
It's like, we'll be walking along and go, oh my gosh, it's dead. This had fresh batteries when we started.
Just, yeah.
You know?
Video recorders.
Yeah.
Always.
Recorders especially. Like, we had one case where I had to step out to replace the batteries. I think we talked about this one before where you thought I fell on the stairs.
Yeah.
Because things were going on, but I couldn't keep the video camera going. Is that still on?
Full?
Look at that.
Off.
Oh, you're good. Right in the middle.
So
there we're killing batteries by ourselves, but...
Hello, Robert, Wanda Paul, Rochelle.
But yeah, that is pretty standard. Even flashlights. We'll have a flashlight that we were like, hey, we just put fresh batteries in it. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
That light, that one is just so bright. I just love it. I can shine a tree from like half mile away. It's nuts.
So really, make a long story short, yeah, we burn through batteries all the time.
Yeah.
Anything else that's kind of neat we want to show them?
I wanted to check. I had no idea what time it was. It's 7:36.
Oh, okay. Well, then let's just wrap it up.
Boy, that went quick, didn't it? Oh, and I mean, and there's all the miscellaneous stuff we don't show you. You know, different camera mounts. This. I don't want to bore you with all that. Just keep you on the equipment. But there's so much of the small stuff. We rarely roll in without 3 of these large bags.
At least, yeah.
At the minimum, go in. And sometimes, depending upon the camera sets, we need those big, heavy plastic bins. So we roll in with a ton of equipment.
Depends on the size of the place
Yeah.
we're going to do. And
Absolutely. And how long we're going to be there.
right.
Anybody else have any other questions about equipment?
And sorry if I missed any.
I know, that's...
It's a little harder with the phone, I think.
Right, yeah, we're doing it with the phone tonight, which is rare. And like I said at the beginning, I'm like, I should have brought somebody on to film us. I thought about it, totally forgot. But hey, I think we did all right. We got through all the equipment, pretty much.
I only got distracted once or twice. And...
Yeah, lots of different variety of equipment. And like I say, these shelves here, and and battery power banks. I got one in the house, but we have different power boxes for if we're out in the middle of nowhere and we need power source. That's pretty important, especially if we're out looking for Sasquatch. Right. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and sometimes, you know what? Cold air drains batteries like crazy.
It does. And so
hello, Joan.
One other thing too is, with all this equipment, this office has become a wonderful thing. We used to carry everything down into the basement and up into the so at like 3 o'clock in the morning we're hauling all that stuff down
the stairs.
It's like 21 degrees below zero. And now we can just back right up to the garage. Everything comes right in here. It's warm in here.
Yeah.
This office.
This saved us. We got some sage hanging up there.
Yep, some sage, some.
Yeah,
things from other adventures you guys.
Yep, yeah, we've had a whole conversation on the some of the things that are on our shelves that people asked about.
A place to nap or sit.
Yeah, a place to nap and just have meetings.
Yeah.
And like, boom, here's the door, and we can back the car right up almost to the door here.
That's been great.
And that makes life very nice. Yeah, small, compact, but I tell you what, this place feels a lot. But hey, it is getting late, and
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah, we enjoy this a ton. We appreciate you checking us out tonight. We had a great group of people watching. We're excited to hear more about what you have to say.
Yeah.
So, hey, let us know your thoughts on it. Give us a like, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.